This model kit review is of the Messerschmitt BF-110, and this is a night fighter. This model is a 1/48 scale model by Revell, and it looks like it's actually the Revell of Germany version. And here you can see pictures of the finished model. And colors needed. Nothing else there. Here are the dimensions. And the back doesn't really have much about this model. Let's have a look on the inside. Looks like this one may have been started already. Let's have a look. Start with the clear pieces. These are actually very nicely molded for the wings, so the windows and the canopy. Do have some flashing here. And here are the fuselage parts. These are all recessed panel and rivet lines. Some nice surface detail, well molded. Here's the inside of the cockpit. We have some details here. It looks like some parts for the guns. We have some instruments. We need to find our seat. It's probably somewhere. Here's the other side, which is probably going to go in like that to make for a very nicely detailed cockpit. If you look to see, it's actually more likely to be that there. A very nicely detailed cockpit right there. Here are our wheels, need a little bit of sanding, otherwise nicely molded Continental 375s. Here we have our gun, and another one. Fair amount of detail there. We have the one of the engine nacelles, needs a little bit of sanding. Otherwise, fair amount of detail, nice detail on the wheel wells. Here is our seat. And our instrument panel, which actually has some nice detail there. Here's the wing and wheel well. Lots of details there in that wheel well. Looks very nice. Here's the other engine nacelle. Hasn't been put together. We have propellers. These are all very nicely molded. I don't see much in the way of flashing or mold lines or recessed panel lines. Here's the other wing with wheel well. The wheel covers, air intakes. There's the tail wheel. So all very nicely molded. Good amount of detail. Looks like we have our exhausts for the engines. Lots of extra little pieces. This here is to build our radar for the front of the plane. As this was a night fighter, they used radar. Here are our landing gear. The nose, that's fascinating. It's an incredible detail that there's a recess, those gun ports. Here's our stabilizer, elevator. We have some fuel tanks and our spinners. Here are the decals, which are very nicely printed. And a good amount of detail there. So let's have a look here. Here we have the colors needed. They also show us the parts listing. We start off with the cockpit. That's actually already been done. We have the pilots. That's then put into the fuselage. Fuselage is glued together. And then we build the engine nacelles. Those are then put onto the wing, and the wings are glued together. And those are then put onto the fuselage. The tail is then built. And the landing gear and wheel well covers either open or closed. And then radiators, exhausts go on. And then we build out our radar, the antenna, and we have our fuel tanks, tail wheel, and some additional parts in the wings. And then some of the remaining pieces, including canopy, guns, antenna, and so on. And our propellers go on, the spinner, and last parts on the wings, including guns. Here's our painting and decal guide. As you can see, tremendous amount of detail. Here's another version. So all in all, very detailed model, very well molded. Good decals. That's a great model.